living along those borders are well taken care of.
The 3-day Boundary Commission meeting is expected to diligently develop a common approach in charting the way forward for the implementation of the roadmap for the various activities identified jointly by the two sides for the interests of their peoples. Ibrahim Balde, GRTS News.
We'll be back with news from outside the Gambia right after this break. Welcome back to GRTS News. Congolese rebel leader Bosco Ntaganda has turned himself in after fleeing to the U.S. Embassy in Kigali from DR Congo. Rwandan officials said they will not take part in Ntaganda's transfer to the International Criminal Court. The former Congolese rebel leader is wanted by the ICC for numerous counts of war crimes. We have details in this CFI report.
This is the man known as the Terminator because he has no mercy, General Bosco Ntaganda. The Congolese rebel leader has now turned himself in. He was in the U.S. Embassy in Kigali in neighboring Rwanda after fleeing the east of DR Congo. Washington said that he wants to be sent to the International Criminal Court in The Hague.
We're currently consulting with a number of governments, including the Rwandan government, in order to facilitate his request.
Rwandan officials have already announced that they do not want to take part in the transfer of Ntaganda to the ICC. He has been wanted by the criminal court since 2006 for war crimes. Bosco Ntaganda is the subject of 2 arrest warrants for murder, rape, pillaging, and for enrolling child soldiers. All this in 2002 and 2003 with the Patriotic Forces for the Liberation of Congo in the east of DR Congo. He became a general in the regular DRC army following the peace accord signed with Kinshasa in 2009. Ntaganda lived in the open for 3 years before going underground with rebel forces in North Kivu in May 2012. He is also suspected of playing a major role in the current M23 rebel movement.
Nearly 200,000 people greeted Pope Francis at St. Peter's Square in the Vatican City for his inauguration. As we hear in this CFI report, many Catholics are optimistic that Pope Francis will outshine many of his predecessors.
Style. He was wearing less ornate clothes than the previous Pope did for his inauguration, and he waded into the crowd of well-wishers, which was a real nightmare for the 3,000 Vatican policemen mobilized for the event.
He's a very simple person. He will guide nicely in the church.
We know him from back home in Argentina. We know that he is a very simple Pope who thinks differently than those who came before him.
Pope Francis knelt at the tomb of St. Peter and donned a ring symbolizing his new papal powers. He also received from his cardinals the pallium, a lamb's wool strip of cloth that symbolizes the Pope's role as a shepherd. The Argentine Pope chose the name Francis to honor the saint who was close to the poor and nature. The son of an Italian immigrant railroad worker, Francis has already won hearts in Rome with his informal style. He vowed to embrace the poor as leader of the troubled Roman Catholic Church.
It means respecting all of God's creatures and respecting the environment in which we live. It means protecting people, showing loving concern for each and every person, especially children, the elderly, those in need, who are often the last people we think about.
The Pope used his inaugural address to set the tone for his reign. 132 foreign delegations attended the ceremony, including over 30 heads of state.
Let's now take a quick look at the weather report, courtesy of the Central Forecast Office.
The source assures us of a continuous flow, and from there, everything follows. And for those of us who know what the River Gambia stands for, understanding its sustainability in all aspects of life is easily confirmed. The River Gambia provides nutritious delicacies as food, while it provides its wildlife a balanced ecosystem. This river, as a sanctuary, is committed to its inhabitants' needs without season. And as you travel along, all these values are replicated in one company, Elton. Just like the River Gambia, leads in its commitment to values that matter most. Elton, championing the vision for a new generation.
Hello and welcome to the weather segment, beginning with a summary of the weather due the day today, followed by a forecast. The Gambia this afternoon was mainly warm and sunny. And to see what will follow, let's start with a look at the satellite image captured at 16:30 hours, indicating the prevalence of medium-level clouds over the western part of the continent, with the rest of Africa being dry and stable. And for our forecast tonight, we're expecting conditions of the Gambia to be fairly cool, variably cloudy, and breezy over some places. Tomorrow morning will also be fairly cool and variably cloudy, but will be warm and sunny thereafter. Winds will continue to be northwestern orientation, but generally light to moderate in speed. And morning temperature values will be 18 degrees Celsius over Banjul and Yundum. Kerwan will record 19 degrees Celsius, and we're expecting 20 degrees Celsius over Sibanor and Genoy. The rest of the Gambia will be either 21 or 22 degrees Celsius tomorrow morning. Top temperatures will be 32 degrees Celsius over Banjul, also over Yundum. We are expecting 36 degrees Celsius over Kerawan, as well as Sibanor. Guinea will record 37 degrees Celsius, and the rest of the Gambia will be either 39 or 40 degrees Celsius tomorrow afternoon. We are expecting low tides of 0.7 meters at 9:39 a.m. and 0.7 meters also at 10:36 p.m. High tides will be 1.2 meters at 3:36 a.m. and 1.3 meters at 4:28 p.m. The sun will rise at 11 minutes past 7 o'clock and will set at 19:17. That was our forecast, and do have a very good evening. Good night.
Thank you very much, Yasin. And before we go, a reminder of our headlines once again. The Independent Electoral Commission Chairman Mustafa Carriol has called on Gambians to actively participate in next month's local government elections. Banjul is playing host to a historic meeting by Senegal and Gambia government officials on border demarcation between the two countries. Fugitive Congolese rebel leader Bosco Ntaganda has surrendered himself for trial at the International Criminal Court, and thousands are converging on St. Peter's Square in the Vatican to witness the inauguration of Pope Francis I. That's all in this edition of the news. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned and enjoy GRTS.